Namaste, dear student. This is the second class for statistical methods. So, in previous class, we was discuss about kind of datas and also presentation of data in tabular form. Today, we will discuss about charts and diagrams for ungrouped data. Chart and diagram are useful device for the data presentation. Diagram are appealing to the eyes and they are helpful in assimilating data readily and quickly. A chart, on the other hand, can clarify complex problem and reveal the hidden facts. But chart or diagram, unlike table, do not show detail of data and require much time to construct. Note that the word chart and diagram are used almost in the same sense. The common type of charts and diagrams are first line diagram, second bar diagram, third pie diagram, and fourth type is pictogram. So first we discuss about line diagram. In this picture we can see line diagram. Line diagram are the most common method of presenting statistical data. Data presentation in the form of line diagram are mostly used in the business and commerce. Mostly the time series data are represented by line diagram. In a line diagram, data are shown by mean of curve or a straight line. The straight line or the curve reveals the relationship between two variables. Two straight lines, one horizontal and another vertical, known as x-axis and y-axis respectively, are drawn on the graph paper as we can see in this slide, which intersect at a point called origin. The given data are represented as point on the graph paper. The locus of all such point joined either by a curve or by a pieces of straight line gives the line diagram. Two types of line diagram are used: natural scale and ratio scale. In the natural scale, equal distance represent equal amount of chance, but in ratio scale, equal distance represent equal ratio. So we can see in this example of line diagram, in the y-axis we can see productions in units, and on the x-axis time January, February, March, etc. Line diagram showing production of firm against month in any year. In this figure 1991. Now we will discuss bar diagram in the next slide. This one is the picture of a line diagram, bar diagram. Bar diagram consists a group of equally spaced rectangular bars, one for each category or scale of given statistical data. The rectangular bars are differentiated by the differentiated sets of colors. The bar straight form. A common baseline must be of equal width and their length represent the value of statistical data. Bar diagram may be of two types, vertical and horizontal. For each of these types, we have gained grouped bar diagram, subdivided bar diagram, paired by uh, paired bar diagram, etc. Grouped bar diagrams are used to show the comparison of two or more sets of related statistical data. While subdivided or component bar diagram are used for comparing the size of different component parts among themselves. A paired bar diagram consists of several pairs of horizontal bars. In this figure, we can see a paired diagram. On the x-axis is volume and on the x-axis time represented in years and on y-axis volume of import or export. Black shade shows import and other colors show export. Now in the next slide we will discuss about pie diagram. This is the example of a pie diagram. A pie diagram is a circle whose area is divided proportionately among the different components by straight line drawn from the center of the circumference. When statistical data are given for a number of categories, and we are interested in their comparison in a manner that reveals the contribution of each category to the total pie diagrams are very useful in effectively displaying the data. In a pie diagram, it is necessary to express the value of each category as a percentage of the total. Since the circuit represents the total and to represent each category in the circuit. So, in the pie chart, it is necessary express the value of each category as a percentage of the total. since the circle represent the total and 2 represent each category in that circle. In this figure, we have to multiply the percentage of each category by 3.6 degrees so that sum of each category becomes 360 degrees. The diagram can be drawn with the help of compass and a protractor. This figure shows a hypothetical pie diagram. Dark shade is for rice, light shade is wheat, and white shade is jowar. Area of district devoted to cultivation of rice, wheat, and jowar. So both anyone you can use as a pie chart. Fourth thing is pictograph. This type of data presentation consists of rows of pictures or symbols of equal size. Each picture or symbol represent a definite numerical value. Pictograph help to present data to illiterate pupil or to children. Next topic for discussion is frequency distribution. Frequency of a variable is the number of time it occurs in a given data. I am repeat. Frequency of a variable is the number of time it occurs in a given data. Suppose we have data on the daily number of accidents in a city for 30 days. If 5 accidents have occurred 6 times in these 30 days, then frequency of 5 accident daily is 6. Thus, if we have a large mass of data, we can compress these by writing the frequency of each variable corresponding to the value of the range of values taken by these. Let us suppose that the variable x takes the value as x1, x2, x3, dash xn. Then frequency of x1 is generally denoted by fi. Uh, Frequency of xi denoted by fi. There are two types of frequency distribution, namely simple frequency distribution and second grouped frequency distribution. Simple frequency distribution shows the value of the variable individually, whereas the grouped frequency distribution shows the value of the variable in groups or intervals. In the next slide, I will show example of both frequency table. So this is a data for any class for some students. In this table, simple frequency distribution of number of problems solved by the student daily during a month in my statistics class in BA Honors 5th Sem. Now I will show you second type of distribution table. This is the example of grouped data. In this table, I have given age of in any locality. In the example of grouped frequency distribution, we have shown few useful terms associated with it. They are crash interval or crash frequency, commutative frequency, greater than or less than type, crash limit, upper limit or lower limit, crash boundaries, upper boundary or lower boundary, midpoint of crash interval, width, width of any crash, relative frequency, and lastly frequency density. So now we will discuss on these things. First thing is crash. When a large number of observations varying in the wide range are available, they are usually classified into several groups according to the size of the value. Each of these groups, defined by an interval, is called crash interval or simply crash. Second thing is crash frequency. The number of observation falling under each crash is called its crash frequency or simple frequency. Third thing is crash limit. The two number used to specify the limit of a crash interval for telling the original observation are called crash limit. Next thing is crash boundaries. The extreme value observation of a variable called crash boundary, which could ever be included in a crash interval, then this will called crash boundaries. Next thing is midpoint of crash interval. The value exactly at the middle of crash interval is called crash mark or mid value. It is used as the representative value of the crash interval. Thus, midpoint of crash interval is equal to lower crash boundary plus upper crash boundary divided by 2. Next thing is width of a crash. Width of a crash is defined as the difference between the upper and lower crash boundaries. Thus, width of a crash is equal to upper crash boundaries minus lower crash boundaries. Next thing is relative frequency. The relative frequency of a crash is the share of that crash in total frequency. Thus, relative frequency is equal to crash frequency divided by total frequency. Next thing is frequency density. Frequency density of a crash is its frequency per unit width. Thus, frequency density is equal to crash frequency divided by width of a crash. Next thing is commutative frequency. Commutative frequency corresponding to a specified value of a variable or a class in case of grouped frequency distribution is the number of observation smaller or greater than that value or class, the number of observation up to a given value or class is called dash. Then type commutative frequency distribution where the number of observation greater than a value or class is called more than type commutative frequency distribution. Now I will discuss about some diagrams: histogram, frequency polygon, and OGIFs. And thereafter we will discuss about important question related to this unit. Histogram, frequency polygon, and OGIFs are means of diagrammatic presentation of frequency type of data. What is histogram? Histogram is the most common form diagrammatic presentation of grouped frequency data. It is a set of adjacent rectangles on a common baseline. The base of each rectangle measures the cross width, whereas the height measures the frequency density. Second thing, frequency polygon. Frequency polygon of a frequency distribution could be achieved by joining the midpoint of the top of the consecutive rectangle. The two endpoints of a frequency polygon are joined to the baseline at the mid value of the empty classes at the end of frequency distribution. Third thing is OGIFs. OGIFs are nothing but the graphical presentation of commutative frequency. Plotting the commutative frequency against the mid value of classes and joining them, we obtain OGIFs. In this slide, we can see a diagram which is a frequency histogram. On the y-axis, I given frequency, and on the x-axis, values. So values are here bases and bases in rupees and frequency of person getting same bases. In this graph, same data I present, but it is a polygon. So same data I can show with the help of histogram or with the help of polygon. So you should easily compare them. Midpoint of histogram meet by a freehand dial, so I get a frequency polygon. Now we assume a example. But first we should another example of polygon. This is another example of polygon. So data I not share in this slide, so we discuss it things later. Yeah, I given commutative frequency of annual sales and polygon of this data is given in previous slide. So if we want to draw a polygon OGIF, then we required to draw a graph of commutative frequency. So in this table, I calculated commutative frequency of previous data, and with the help of commutative frequency, we can draw a OGIF. So this shape will be the inclusive OGIF. On the y-axis, commutative frequency is given, and on the x-axis, value of cells, which is the frequency, which is the values. Now I will discuss some important questions of this unit. First question is, explain the advantage of tabular presentation of data over textual presentation. First question is that. Second question, prepare a blank table showing the average height of males and females classified into age group of 18 year and over, and under 18 year in 7 districts on the year 2004 and 2005. Third question is, represent the following data by line diagram and Y diagram and bar diagram. Data is this. Our question is, uh, sketch line diagram and Y diagram for this data. So please note and try to draw line diagram and bar diagram. Next question is for this data. And my question is, draw a pie chart for this data. So today's lecture is complete. In the next lecture, we will discuss about descriptive statistics. Till then, bye bye. Have a nice day. Sabak hai.